In this section, we went over the page orientation. To change page orientation, we also went over the page size, how to change the page size, and how to customize the page, and page setup, and adjust the values width and height. In this section, we went over indenting text. To indent using the tab key. We went over tabs and the tab selector. In this section, types of tab stops include left tab, center tab, right tab, decimal tab, bar tab, first line indent, and hanging indent. We went over how to add tab stops and how to click the tab selector until the tab stop you want to use appears. Also went over removing tabs. We also went over how to create a bulleted list. We went over options for working with the bulleted list that you've created. We went over how to customize bullets and to use certain symbols as bullets. Then we went over how to change the bullet colors. And then we went over how to define new bullet. Dialog box will appear. Click the font button. Then we went over the bullet color will appear in the preview section to define the new bullet. We went over how to use a picture as a bullet to define a new bullet. And we went over how to insert pictures in this bullet in this section. Also went over multi-level list. To create a multi-level list. Went over how to increase and decrease indent levels. We went over how to add columns to a document. That's basically all we went over in this section. We learned how to add column breaks, and we learned how to delete columns. In this section, we learned about how to create headers and footers, and how to put a number in the header and footer also. How to insert a preset header or footer. This section was went over. We also went over adding page numbers, which I talked about earlier, and how to add the page numbers to a document. We went over how to edit the font size of the header and footer of the document and the number size of the header and footer of the document, which are located at the top and bottom of the page. We learned how to restart page numbering. And how to finish when you page number. In this section, we went over how to crop images and how to insert pictures into a document. We also learned how to crop the image to a certain shape and how the image will appear formatted as the shape. We also learned how to add a border to the picture. We learned how to compress pictures in this section, and to compress a picture, you just select the picture you want to compress, then click the Format tab, then click Compress Pictures. We also learned how to remove the background from an image, and we learned a lot about background removal. We also learned how to save the changes you've made to the picture. In this section, we learned how to insert a blank table. We also learned how to convert existing text to a table. We learned how to apply a table style in this section and locate the table styles group. Learned how to select the desired style, to modify table style options. We also learned how to add borders to a table and select the desired border type from the menu that appears. We learned how to modify a table using the Layout tab. In this section, we learned about the types of charts and identifying the parts of a chart. We also learned how to modify charts with the chart tools and how to change the chart type. From the Design tab, you just click the Change Chart Type command. And we also learned how to switch row and column data. We also learned how to change the chart's layout in this section, and you just select the desired predefined layout from the menu that appears. We also learned how to change a chart elements such as chart title. We also learned how to change the chart style. In this section, we learned how to understand track changes and how to turn on the track changes, and also how to turn off those track changes. We also went over the track changes viewing option and how to hide the track changes, the simple markup, all markup, no markup, or the original. We also learned to show revisions in all balloons. And in this section, we also learned how to compare documents and how to compare two separate documents. A dialog box will appear. Choose your original document by clicking the document from the list. If the file is not in the list, click the Browse button. In this section, we just basically went over how to run a spelling and grammar check, and the spelling and grammar pane will appear for each error in your document. More suggestions. Very simple section right here, and we went over ignoring errors. It's not always going to be correct, so you can ignore certain errors the computer tells you. And for spelling errors, we went over what it shows for grammar errors in this section. We also went over how to change the automatic spelling and grammar check settings in this section. We went over how to hide spelling and grammar errors in a document as well. And basically just shows if you have more than one document open, click the drop box down and select the desired document. And that pretty much sums up what all we learned on this section in Microsoft Word.